My name is Jason Conway. I'm a local of Dublin. Grew up here all my life. I have three big passions of my life: Dungeons and Dragons and Ludosport, as well as just generic gaming. But two things that really fill my life with purpose, I feel like, is Dungeons and Dragons and Ludosport.
Okay, why?
Dungeons and Dragons, just because it ties into a great love I had when I was growing up. I loved storytelling. I loved making stories. I did not always have like loads of toys or like games, so I had to make do with what I had. Like I had a single like figurine, and I would have to basically make that toy last. So even as it broke, I would hold on to it and then just from different angles tell stories. And then eventually I was introduced to an online show called Critical Role. And then me and my friends were like, hey, we have to try this game out, Dungeons and Dragons. And we needed a DM, and I became a DM. And then I started volunteering to run D&D tables for events called Adventures League, at which point it just seemed like I had a talent for being a DM. Telling the stories, giving my players entertainment, while also taking their decisions into account and modifying the stories into just pure entertainment for them. And then with Ludosport, it's just I was in a dark place when I found Ludosport, and it since has been a beacon of just massive light in my life. I've made friends. I've was able to somewhat stabilize my health, even though I still have some health problems. But I was able to stabilize it somewhat, and I found a sport that I can actively engage in, and compared to other sports I've tried, excel in.
Okay, so let's see. The first question would be: you mentioned when you're a child, you had a toy and you had to look after it. Was that because of lack of resources, or what was the reason behind it?
It was more so. I believe it was a lack of resources. I remember a little TIE interceptor from Star Wars that I had, and from one angle, I'd be like, okay, it looks like a robot with like a flaming fist. So I would like, okay, in my mind, I would see it. I'm also autistic, so I have a hyperactive imagination. So I would, from one angle, be like, okay, it's such and such with a robot with a flaming fist. But then from another angle, it looks like one of the other other ships from another Star Wars thing called Phantom Menace, which had like long legs that it walked on before it took flight. So I would open up the cockpit and hold it at a different angle to replicate that shape. And in my mind, I would see it as that thing, not what it was. So I believe it was lack of resources. But I was a child then. I probably would not be aware of if we were lacking resources or not.
You use your creativity, your imagination, and your desire to have fun, pretty much creating new stuff from whatever you had.
Yes, pretty much.
Okay. And then you mentioned D&D, yeah? You call it. What is the most beautiful, most inspiring, successful story that you have since you are into this?
Oh, okay, you're putting me on the spot there. Oh, it's a bit of a tie, actually. It's tied between one group, a game that I had with members from Ludosport who actually decided to try the hobby with me, where I spent 3 years building up an event, and I've laid breadcrumbs over the course of those 3 years for a big climatic moment, much to the chagrin of my girlfriend, who was really excited for this thing, for me to just metaphorically stab the emotional dagger in her and twist. She stopped talking to me for about a week over that plot reveal. And another moment was with this group again, but a different set of players, when one player, through a misunderstanding of his new abilities, decided to breathe acid at some enemy. Our cameraman is smiling because he was there for the event. He decided to spray acid in hopes to save a party member, failing to realize that acid is going to eventually drop, and the people were fighting on top of a building, so the acid landed on the wall and the rooftop and melted it away. So we then had to plan a whole extra session to plot out them going to court. And then to have one of our players, for no apparent reason, shout out, "Objection." Even though she's supposed to be on the defense, she's objecting to their own defense. So just the craziness, like, of those two memories is so, like, one is the second one is precious to me because it's the chaos of the players' decisions and me having to reflexively think on my feet and then shape the story to their decisions. And then the other one is the fruition of years of planning behind my little notebooks and laying out the breadcrumbs for them to follow for then the big reveal.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. Very cool, very inspiring and beautiful story. Do you organize, do you play locally or internationally, or how does it work for someone who doesn't know much about this? Yeah.
Ideally, I would play locally. I have a group that is semi-local, semi-online. At the moment, I arrange games to be played via Discord, an online social app for gamers and whatnot. I have a special server that I set up where we can all meet and then play online. I have a group that's purely online that I play with every Thursday. I have one that, depending on when we can meet up, we'll meet up at a local location and we'll play around the table.
Okay, and what is the main skill that a player needs to play very well?
To play very well, luck and imagination, because no matter how well a plan goes, it all comes down to a dice roll. Because D&D is played with dice, so there's randomness to it, and so you can't. It's not a game of skill; it's a game of imagination and luck. And there is no winning. There's no winning D&D. You know what? There is a way to win D&D, and the ultimate is: did you create a fun story to tell? If you create a fun story to tell, that's winning. Even if your entire party gets completely killed and you failed to save the village or whatever, as long as you had an epic last stand against the big bad, that's a fun story. That's winning.
Cool. Is this this game known in Ireland? Is it popular?
I believe it is somewhat popular in Ireland. As I said, I used to volunteer at a hobby shop called Underworld Gaming, and they ran Adventures League every Thursday. Now they since stopped, but they run D&D every Wednesday, and it's actually a pretty good shop. The owners and the employees know the hobbies that they sell. I would highly recommend anyone who's interested in most hobbies like 40k, Magic the Gathering, any card game really, and D&D, to check out Underworld Gaming in Tallaght.
Thanks so much. Now, let's talk a bit about what we are doing inside. Can you give us some insights?
Okay. Well, Ludosport is a sport that was created in Italy. I don't know how many years ago, unfortunately. I've been doing it for about 10 years. It was a shock to me to realize how many years I've been doing it, because I was going just through my archived emails trying to clear up space, and I saw the email that I was given, that was sent to confirm my trial class. I was like, oh my God, this is back in 2016. I'm getting hit with the age there. But yeah, no, it's an amazing sport. It's built around like 3 pillars that I've taken now into my everyday life. And it has a motto that is just like, there's a motto that we shout out at the end of every class, and it's become such a big part of me that even on my own YouTube channel, I say the motto.
What are they?
The three core pillars is we shorthanded to security. It means service, care, respect. Service, we're all here to help each other grow as athletes, as well as just, to help each other. Care, we're not out to hurt each other. Pretty self-explanatory. And respect is no matter where you come from, what your orientation or your gender, none of that matters. The minute you walk in that door, you are treated with respect, even regardless of how long you've done Ludosport. We have a member here who's been doing it for only 2 years. I would show him as much respect as I would show the founders of this sport. And I've taken that into my real life because, again, it's common sense. And the motto that we share at the end of the day is one name, one sky, because we're an international community and we are all just Ludosport at the end of the day. And I believe that is a beautiful message that we are all living under one sky. We are one group.
Okay, I love that. And what makes this sport unique and different from other sports? And how can you use the skills that you learn here in real life for those who are interested or would like to join?
Sorry. Okay. So, sorry. Can you?
What makes it unique?
Oh, what makes it? Well, unlike other martial arts turned sports, this is done through a tool that is based on the lightsaber. It is an omnidirectional blade. So therefore, we have to modify a lot of different techniques from various sword fighting martial arts to take into account we cannot touch the blade. So even our own blade cannot rest against our arm. It cannot be touching us at all. And there's no need for power strikes because I'm actually wearing the uniform right now. As you can see, I don't wear really any protection. I would wear gloves and a cup to protect those, but I could be hit here and I would have no serious injury.
Okay. So and the blade is made of metal or?
No, it's made of some kind of special plastic. I'm not entirely sure what it is, but it is sturdy enough so that it won't break like toy lightsabers you would get out of Smith's. But it would also bend. So that way, when we do make a contact with another person, the blade will bend so as to reduce the impact. Because again, we're not, back to the pillars, we're not out to hurt each other. And we do not stab. We actually modify any kind of thrusting techniques to avoid the tip of the blade from making center mass.
Okay. Thank you. And okay, so and then if you take the skills that you learn here and use them in real life, what would those skills be?
Perseverance, because I can tell you after even doing this for 10 years, there are elements to the first form, like the most basic combat style, that I'm still learning, that I'm still trying to completely master. And then there's
which ones?
For example, one of the techniques I still struggle with, but I'm slowly getting there, is the Levantes.
What is that?
It's a technique where we aim to target the upper, around the knee area of my opponent, but it's to push through an opponent's defenses. It has to be done with control. So you have to have a lot of control over the strike, but you also have to. It's also about leverage, because depending on where you have to aim for your opponent's weak part of the blade to push in. I'm not an instructor, so I'm probably not explaining it as best as an instructor would. So again, this is just my educated guess from a learning point of view.
And those who like to join you, what do they need to take the first step, let's say?
You don't really need anything.
Just
just the right attitude, to come in and the willingness to learn. that's really all you need. Not to get to insult myself, I'm not well physically built. I'm overweight, but yeah, I still do quite well in the sport. If to toot my own horn, but that's because I practice the techniques and I prioritize a set of points that we call style, which is less about me winning my matches and it's more about doing the techniques correctly, but also doing them in a nice way that looks entertaining for the style judge. So you can literally come in with no sporting experience, be given one of the academy sabers, and just dive into a class.
I think so much. Now, maybe the last question: what is your ikigai, your purpose in life?
Between the two of them, I would have to say D&D.
Okay, why?
Because at the end of every session, I feel pride watching my fellow learners here excelling. When I see them excel in combat, I'm like, oh my god, yay! Because I know I had a hand in that. But when it comes to D&D, the satisfaction of just knowing that this group of people come to me every single week, and they sit down, they get up, and they leave with smiles on their faces, knowing that they had fun. Like, even moments when they do something I'm completely unprepared for, and I have to, mind my language, pull something out of my ass because they done something completely unexpected. The fact that, like, even when I think I done horribly, like, and I'm just throwing stuff at the wall to see what sticks to keep them entertained. Somehow, I managed to entertain them, and they thank me for like. So there's this one group that never leaves without saying thank you for a group, and that one group then led. I now have about 3 groups. 3 groups that every week just want me to spin them a story that they can participate in. And the satisfaction of knowing I managed to successfully do that.
Okay, thanks so much. And the last question, I promise. Where can people find you?
They can find me on multiple things. If you're looking to arrange a D&D game, you can message me on Facebook. I know I introduced myself as Jason Conway, but I do use Jason Benson, my father's name, on Facebook. You can message me on there. You can find me on Instagram via 2 names: the Celtic Nerd or Celtic D&D. You can also find me on YouTube, where I stream and record video games under the Celtic Nerds, same name. I also record our matches of Ludosport, so you can even see us that we are not choreography, we actually do proper matches. And that's under the Celtic Nerd as well.
Thanks so much. It was amazing.
No problem.
Thank you.